Give me 1 second. Make sure we get our folks in YouTube on just fine. Boom. All right. So, trading economics we go. All right. So, UK wage growth accelerates. Average hourly earnings, excluding bonuses in the UK, increased 5.9% year on year in the 3 months of 2024. In the last 3 months of 2024, the most since the second quarter in 2024. All right. Um, and up from 5.6 in the previous period, aligning with forecast. Private sector wage growth accelerated to 6.2%, slightly below the BOE's projected 6.3. Meanwhile, unemployment rate remained steady, defying the expectation of an increase. All right. So we got wage growth in the UK. Okay. So generally with wage growth, people have more money, could potentially see more spending, which could then lead to inflation ticking up a bit. All right. So we'll watch that and see what the response is there. Okay. Um, then last night, Reserve Bank of Australia, right? The RBA slashed its cash rate by 25 basis points to 4.1% in their February meeting, aligning with the market expectations. This marked the first reduction since 2020. Driven by further slowdown in underlying inflation, central bank expressed a growing confidence that the inflation is moving sustainably toward the midpoint of 2 to 3%, citing the role of high interest rates in balancing the aggregate demand and supply. At the same time, the RBA highlighted an uncertain outlook. An uncertain outlook, noting a slower than expected rebound in the private demand and uncertainty over sustainability of household spending recovery that began in late 2024. All right. Global risks also remain significant, underscoring geopolitical and policy uncertainties. All right. While joining the global easing cycle ahead of the mid-May federal election, the board remained cautious about further policy easing. Okay. So they remain cautious, right? Sounds more like a dovish hike to me, but we'll see how the market took that. And then we'll see how the market responds on the open on the open of the market after the federal holiday yesterday. Okay. So that's it there. Let's go over to the calendar. Let me get to the right day. Tuesday the 18th. Let's refresh here. All right, so there's your unemployment change. Excuse me, there's your average hourly earnings coming out of the UK. There's your unemployment rate. Um, mm, mm, mm. Excuse me. Excuse me. Today, today we got CPI coming out of Canada. We want to keep our eyes on, all right? See what's happening in Canada. See where those Canadian dollar pairs move. We got Empire State Manufacturing for the US coming out today as well. And then later on tonight, we have wage price index, New Zealand cash rate, then the New Zealand press conference, and then Donald Trump speaks at 9 o'clock, which can always move the market. Tomorrow, we got CPI coming out of the UK. We got FOMC meeting minutes at 2 o'clock tomorrow, right? See what the Fed's discussion was. Then Um, employment change and unemployment rate for the Aussie. Then on Thursday, we got unemployment claims for the United States, and Governor Bullock speaks for the Reserve Bank of Australia. And then on Friday, we got quite a bit happening. We got retail sales, we got flash PMI for multiple countries in the Eurozone. We got flash PMI coming out of the UK. We got core retail sales for Canada. We got flash PMI for the United States. And then Governor Macklin out of Canada speaks. So quite a bit happening on Friday, right? Mixed in between with middle of the week with New Zealand and their cash rate and meeting minutes for the United States. So we'll just keep our eyes on the market this week to see how things go coming off this bank holiday. All right. Um, see what else we got happening in the world. Um, let's see. No, I don't see anything else. No, don't see anything else. Team, you guys have anything fundamentally that you want to bring to the table? Actually, don't want to look up one more thing. Anything? No? Look at natural gas. Natural gas futures eased to 3.6 BTU, million BTUs after 12% weekly gain that pushed prices to a 3-week high, above $3.75 as investors assess weather, heating demand, and production levels. Gas flows to the 8 major U.S. LNG export plants averaged 15.3 BCF so far in February, up from 14.6 in January and nearing record levels. Meanwhile, extreme cold weather froze some wells, reducing daily gas output. Weather forecasts show colder than normal temperatures through February 22nd. Additionally, the EIA reported that the U.S. utilities withdrew 100 BCF of natural gas from storage in the week ending February 7th, reducing the inventories to 2,297 BCF. Okay. We'll continue to watch natural gas. That's what I'm going to look at first, just because the chart is interesting. And they're noting that here as a potential as well. So, if you guys don't have anything, let's hop over to the charts. Look at the DXY first. DXY got a swing low form here, right? Stochastic in the buy zone on the daily time frame, right? Past resistance, could it become future support here, right? 618 retracement on the up fib. So I want to see if price holds here and we start to get dollar strength, right? So watching the dollar as the stochastic pushes deeper in the zone. We could potentially get some consolidation happening here. We'll see how the market opens. Okay. But looking to see if price holds this 106 support level. All right. If we get that hold, we'll look for price to rise and see if we get to 112 on the dollar. Okay. We'll come down to the 4. Down on the 4. Fresh AB boundary. Okay. So I'm going to watch that closer to see. Stochastic here is in the sell zone. So I want to see what happens, right? Do we get another push down into the 118, 127 zone? And on the daily, that stochastic pushes deeper into the buy zone and give us an 80-20, something like this. Or do we just get consolidation here in the double bottom and then a push, right? So this level is going to be key for the dollar, I believe. Okay, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what Donald Trump has to say in his press conferences, and we'll see what things transpire throughout the week as we come up to those meeting minutes, right? Um, but looking to see what happens here. Okay, so we'll watch that 106 level there. All right, so that is the DXY. Watching that closely. Um, Natural gas. Let's come back to the daily here. I believe we talked about this last week, but stochastic is in the sell zone here, right? We pushed back to the top of the cloud here, trying to create a swing high. I'm watching this closely because we could have a head and shoulders pattern here. So I'm looking for data and insight to see what's happening fundamentally that could cause natural gas to take a dip. And see if there's anything that aligns there. Okay. Um, if I see some alignment here, I might take profit on some of my higher entries and allow price to drop. And then as we get a low price, looking to add back to my position. But I'm watching this closely here, right? I'm watching the development of this closely. If we open and we get a nice strong push back to the upside, take out that high, we're good, right? But if we get a swing high to form here with that stochastic in the sell zone, all right, look out for for a nice retracement to come. Okay. As we come down to the 4, I'll pull this out so we can see it clean. All right, and we got a mismatch in the stochastic. Okay. Stochastic here is in the buy zone, which makes it interesting, right? We've already got a deep retracement here just inside that a boundary that gave us that double bottom there at 297. Now, I could we break this 297 level? Sure. Um, do we? I don't know, right? I don't know. So, I'm watching closely and watching cautiously on this one. Okay. We did break back above the cloud here on the 4, but this could all just be a back and forth for a move to the downside, right? Um, so watching closer to see how things transpire here. I would love for price to get back bullish and just continue taking out highs and moving its way up. But understanding technically we could be in a space where we get another pullback first. Okay. So that could look like after we get this retracement here, that could look like this, coming back down to the trend line and potentially taking out the A here on the 4. Okay. Setting us up for something like that. Right. So watching closely to see how price moves. Okay. 244. That would be deep. That'd be steep. I'm gonna go back to the weekend and look at that as well. But that would be a very, very, very steep move there if that occurred. We'll mark that out like that. So looking to see, right? Because this on the subfib 618 retracement, that's the matching extension. Okay. Um, so let's watch the development there. Let's go back to the weekly real quick. What could cause that deep retracement? Broke out of the consolidation, came back, retested it all. Hmm. Let's watch closely. Not sure. Not sure what could cause that. Stochastic's still not in the buy zone on the weekly time frame. Um, hmm. Yeah, let's watch this closely. I don't know that we get all the way back down to these bottoms, but um, we're still bullish ahead on the cloud. We'll come back and retest the cloud, but that's on the weekly. Let's see what we got on the one. So on the one that 80-20 played out beautifully, moved back to the upside, and you see price turned over here and we broke back below the cloud. So I'm definitely watching this one because we could get a decent move back down to the downside, right? Even if we just come back down and double bottom at 297. Okay. Um 80-20 on the one, Jeremy. Just hit that 118 level there and break down. Are you looking at the sub fib on this? Hmm. Sub fib right here. Yeah. So, and that could set us up for this retracement back into the zone here. All right. That's kind of what I'm looking at is do we get a pullback, pull back into the zone, and then a continued move to the downside. Okay. Um, but what I would like, personally, what I'd like, right? Market doesn't care, but for price just to take off and continue running long, right? Momentum just to continue to carry it to the upside. But even here on the one, stochastic getting into the buy zone, so we could see this retracement and things to top out. So watching closely, guys. Watching closely. Just keep your eyes peeled on this one because you got an 80-20 here on the four as well, right? On the sub fib to the upside. 80-20 here, double top, trying to get this retracement to happen. So I'm at least looking for a move back down before we head up. But the question is just how deep does that move down go? Okay. Um, so just watch closely on this one as we continue to make our way to our higher target levels. Could see some back and forth in between. Okay. Questions on natural gas? Oh, oh, all right. So that's that. While we're looking at these commodities, let's look at oil. Still sitting low in the zone, right? Kind of got a double bottom form here. Stochastic is in between, right? Came back to this consolidation zone, $70 a barrel. Do we get price to start moving back to the upside? Okay. Do we get price to start moving back to the upside? We still got geopolitical tension. Um, Israel and Gaza are still going through the thing, ceasefire, not a ceasefire. Um, so we could see things pick up there. We'll see what happens with Russia and Ukraine, see if there's any resolution that comes. Um, let's see what else. Um, yeah. So let's see what happens if there's a geopolitical catalyst to oil moving to the upside, right? Um, we're just consolidating right now. Okay, just consolidating right now. Let's come out to the 4. All right, you see that consolidation a lot cleaner. We're still below the cloud on the 4. If we get a nice break of this cloud on the 4, we could be off to the races. All right, so we'll watch that closely and see as well. Um, let's see what type of catalyst we get and see if we can get that cloud break there. All right. Um, so not a ton doing, just sitting and waiting to see how this moves here. Coming down right now on the 1. Um, but we could see this double bottom play out with another move to the upside. Yeah, that just hit a D extension. So looking at a new fib to form here. Boom. Look for a new fib to form. See if price bottoms out somewhere around 786.86 on this sub fib, and then see if we get that continuation to the upside. That's a nice cloud break on the 1, bullish ahead, right? So pull back and see if we get a continuation long here on oil. All right, so not a ton there, but just watching these sub fibs. Let's see if they continue to align for us. Okay, so watching to see if we stay above this $70 a barrel. All right, questions on oil? All right. Let's keep rocking. So I'm gonna look at Aussie pairs and dollar pairs. So this Aussie CAD, let's see how it responded to rate statement. This is a crown pattern that I mapped out a while ago. Boom. Looking to see if we get back bullish here. Ba, ba, ba. So not a strong reaction, right? Got some consolidation. We're trying to push to the upside here, um, but still an uh, indecisive move there. Okay. So not a ton on the daily. Come down to the 4. Still trying to make our way to the upside there as well. So still stuck in consolidation. We broke above the cloud here. We got bullish twist. Stochastic trying to get back down in the buy zone. We could see this continue moving to the upside. We'll see what happens with the Canadian dollar, but not a ton, right? You see the move there on the 1 to the upside to break the cloud, but still not giving a ton, right? Because we're still trapped in this consolidation here. Okay, so we'll continue to watch this one. Not a ton happening. I'm looking forward to move bullish because of the dovish. I'm sorry, more of a hawkish tone with caution and not certain about more rate cuts. Um, so we'll continue to watch the Aussie and see how that moves. So not a ton happened on the Aussie cat. Um, Aussie Swiss. This one's slowly trekking along. All right, we got a 50%, just shy of 50% retracement here at the daily support. We've been slowly moving to the upside ever since. Um, so not a ton here either. Pulling back on the Aussie yen. Excuse me. After that swing low formed, 3 bullish candles, we're getting a pullback now. Stochastic in the sell zone. Watch for more of a retracement here. See if we get another push down. Give a double bottom at this 94,312. And then see if we get that action. We'll watch and see there. Right, stochastic in the sell zone on the daily time frame. Coming down to the 4. Nice bullish action. Let's see. And let's see what happens here. I think we could get more of a move down, press into the cloud here a little bit more. Um, like I said, maybe coming back down and getting a double bottom here. Stochastic is they're mismatched on each level, so that could also give us some additional consolidation, which means we could see that move back down and then back up. So we could be caught in a range here in this zone. Okay. So we'll watch and see how things evolve on this one. But overall, still tracking the larger move to the upside. It just could take a while to get there, right? Getting back to around 105. Okay, so that's where we are there on the 4, down to the 1. You see we're pulling back. Weren't able to break above the cloud here. Still bearish, right? So we'll watch and see. But like I said, we could see another move down and then back to the upside. So let's watch that and see how things evolve there on the Aussie yen. So we'll watch that one. But again, not a ton happening. We didn't get a strong reaction um, from these Aussie pairs. So this is the one that we got the strongest move on. It's Aussie New Zealand. Nice bullish action there on the track long, right? I don't know if anybody chose to sit in this, but this was the move here back in September. And you see just continuing to track along, right? Slowly but surely making its way to the matching extension at 112. Come down to the 4. All right, that's that strong reaction. So looking at this, we continue to track to the upside from that daily time frame. We got that nice bullish push there. all, all things point to the upside here on this Austin New Zealand. Okay. So not a ton that's already in motion. So not a ton on these Aussie pairs. Let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. Is that dollar, right, is sitting in a sweet spot. Looking to see what happens here, right? So stochastic in the sell zone, 786 retracement. Do we see dollar strength and see this move back down to the downside? Okay, that's what I'm looking at on this. Let's take this out. Move that down. Boom. Let's clean these charts up a little bit here. All right, so do we get a move back down? All right, do we see dollar strength? And do we get a move back down? Okay. That's what I'm looking to see. So cask in the sell zone, right? Deep retracement there. Coming down to the 4. Well, that's the 1. Just want to see what the fibs look like here. Yep. So another deep retracement, right? Um, mm, mm, mm. This stochastic is coming back down to the buy zone. Could signal some shorter term consolidation that happens here. We'll see when the market opens, when the volatility comes back in, but could be setting up for a move to the downside. Okay. Um, so let's watch this. This could be a good opportunity for a short if we get some dollar strength this week. Okay. So let's watch that there. Then coming down to our one, we'll run this fib off the nope. I'm gonna say run it off the low, but so we got alignment from a capital fib perspective here, right? 618786 retracements on all levels, and we're sitting high in the zone. Okay. Um, so we got some alignment from that perspective, and here we got an 80-20 on the sub fib. Okay. So potentially looking to short this Aussie dollar, right? Sitting in the zone. Let's see what happens around 9:30, 10 o'clock, see how the market's moving. But looking at some potential downside movement on this Aussie dollar, right? With dollar strength. So keep your eyes there. 80-20 on the Aussie dollar, 786, 618 retracements on daily, 4 hour, and the one. Okay. So that's the Aussie dollar. Keep your eyes peeled there for some opportunity to make some cash. Coming down to let's take a look at the Swiss yen real quick. Got a nice retracement. Stochastic in the sell zone. Got a nice trend over here. We could see a move back down here to test the support level. Let's watch this here, right? Could be another move to the downside, double bottom, and then we move long. Down on the 4. So this can just crazy sideways work there. Um, yeah, just looking to see if we get a deeper retracement here. There's stochastics in the buy zone, but we could consolidate here, push deeper, and then turn. So let's watch this Swiss yen for a low price. See if we get an opportunity to buy that back to the upside. Right here on the one, it's that 80-20 still trying to play its way out. Okay. Still haven't gotten deep in the zone, and that's what I'm looking for. A deep push back down in this range. So let's see, because I'm gonna keep watching this one, see if we get a low price there. So now that's happening right now. Our 80-20 already in motion, right? So let's look for a lower price to get long in the Swiss yen. Okay. Then euro dollar. Stochastic in the buy zone. I'm sorry, stochastic in the sell zone. Did we get to the 786? 053. 323. Just wick this the 786 level. All right. So do we get dollar strength and a move down to get to parity? We've been talking about it for a while. So this could be the move. All right. So we'll watch this and see how things develop with the dollar. But sitting high in the zone, do we get that move to the downside, making its way here to get to $1 even? Coming down to the 4. There's your 80-20 on the 4. I already started this move to the downside, right? Let's see if we get that continued move down. Okay. So looking short on how my charts get mixed up here. That's on the 1 hour. I need the 4. There we go. My bad on that. So on the 4 hour, on the 4, 618 retracement. All right. So we got a 786 on the daily, 618 on the 4 hour. That still puts us at that parity level. Okay. So price trying to turn back over, see if we get dollar strength, push to the downside. All right. So we got alignment on the daily and on the 4. And then we got that 80-20 here on the 1. Okay. So looking for that move down to come. All right. Let's see if we get that continued action there. All right. If we're able to break below that level. Looking for continued shorts on the euro dollar. Okay. Questions on the euro. Not a ton. Not a ton going on from a technical perspective because things are everywhere. So that's why we see a lot of the consolidation and a lot of the uncertainty. So um, so just continue to be aware of that. I know Benny talked about that over the weekend quite a bit. So just continue to be aware of that. We could see consolidation as things are all over the place and we have tons of distractions. Um, Tons of distractions to distract the people, distract the market as money moves on the back end. So just be aware of all things. All right. I didn't do GJ just yet, Joy, but I will. Pound dollar, similar story. 618 retracement. Haven't got to the 786 level yet. Stochastic pushing into the sell zone. All right. Let's see if we get that turnover. Okay. See if we get that turnover. So let's watch that closely there for that C to D move, especially if we get a swing high to form there. Just look for it. We got some stronger data out of the UK, and we'll see what happens with data later in the week. But if we get dollar strength, we'll see the dollar kind of take over this pair and move this market. Okay. Let's come down to the 4. Take out the A on the 4, right? Beautiful 80-20. Beautiful move long, right? Great play. So now we flip the fib, boom, AB boundary. And what happens here? Okay. What happens here? Do we get the straight move down off the B boundary, or do we get a push into the 118, 127 zone to give us a nice true exhaustion? And then the flip. Okay, so let's watch this one here. So on the daily, right? So Stochastic was just pressing into that sell zone. Okay, so if we get another push to the upside, a push to a 78686 retracement, right? That'll give us this 80-20 here on the 4, right? Set us up beautifully for that move back down to the downside. Okay, so let's watch that and see if we get that type of action there as the market opens. Okay, looking at the data and what's to come, especially as we move closer to tomorrow and in meeting minutes at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, so let's watch that there. Come down to the 1. Took out the A. Boom. 80-20 on the one. All right. So things are lining up for reversal. Just be patient. Know that we could get another push up into the zone. Get us in that 80-20 space on the 4. Then set us up for that move down. All right. So if we get dollar strength, watch these dollar crosses make these moves. All right. Questions on the dollar yen. I mean pound dollar. All right.
Oh,
We'll deal pound yen. Trying to make its way out of the zone here. All right. 786 retracement. Beautiful strong push. Stochastic in the sell zone. Could see a deeper retracement here. All right. It's already started to pull back a little bit. We got to swing how to form there. All right. So let's look for a retracement. Similar to the others. They all kind of look the same, right? 3 bullish candles, trying to get a retracement to happen. And then we'll just look for a low price to get back low. Okay. I'll show you what I'm looking at here on the 4. Right. That retracement might not even get that deep. But boom, it could. But I want to see some alignment here because this could give us a head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders pattern here. We come somewhere in this range here. Boom. Right. So looking for another move down. We'll see how deep that down goes. If we get back into the sweet spot, beautiful past resistance here, the service future support, right, and give us a deeper right shoulder. Okay, but looking for inverted head and shoulders pattern, move that back to the upside. So just like those other yens, we could see another move to the downside first, right? As these ABCD waves play out, right? Just looking for a low price in the zone to give us an opportunity to add to that position to the upside. Okay. So still overall long, just working its way out of this deep retracement zone here on the 4. Still looking at 200s, 208s at some time in the future, sometime this year, next year. But this could be another year where we get runs on the yen that aren't necessarily expected, quote unquote. So until things change, I'm still looking for this to continue to move to the upside. Okay. Yeah, so that's on the 4. Look for that inverted head and shoulder. So you come down to the 1, and what would that look like? That would look like a push back down deeper into the zone here. Okay. This is that left shoulder. So 618, 786, 86 retracement, right? If we come back down to this low level at 189, we'll take out the A. But just looking for a deeper price off this 80-20, right? Boom, move down. So that's it. Looking for another push to the downside. See if we're able to settle in, give us the right shoulder, and boom. That's the pound yen. That's what I'm looking for. Questions? You seeing something similar, Joy? Something different?
Um, well, right now I'm seeing price up underneath the 50 on the daily. And it was bouncing off the trend line. And so I had played the move up, and then once my high form, I went ahead and played the move down up underneath the 50. But I see the head, the inverted head and shoulders now. I didn't see it before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's see how it plays underneath that quickly, right? Do we
Yeah.
continue to stay short for a little while, right? And continue to push down and stay below that? And then, right, does this right tip form and then give us a breaking across of that?
Okay. Yeah, because I'm looking for price to come back to like 188, 981.
Or, and you know, I'm not, I wouldn't be surprised at that. That wouldn't completely surprise me, right? Coming back and retesting this resistance here after that
Yeah.
strong bullish move, that wouldn't surprise me, right? Because you look at it here on the four on that sub fib, and that makes sense. That makes sense. So that wouldn't be surprising.
That's where my last move was at 187, 293. So I
Mm-hmm.
took that to 191. So I was looking for price to come back that way.
Yeah. That would be beautiful. It'd set us up perfectly, right? Come right back into that sweet spot and give us a nice buying opportunity. I dig that.
Yeah.
I dig that. Great work. Great work. All right. Good people. That's all I have for us today. You guys got anything before we wrap it up? Any other pairs I'm take a look at? No. All right, good people. So we'll wrap it up there. Um, just keep your eyes on the market, man. Keep your eyes on the market. ULJPY. Okay, yeah. This one is pressed a little deeper than the others, but stochastic still getting into that sell zone. Right. So my thought is similar on this one, right? Do we get a deeper retracement on this still? We got that swing how to form, two candles, boom. Do we get another move down? Right. Um, as we continue to try to work our way out of this consolidation. Okay. Still stuck there, but do we get another move down? And then get that action. Okay, so we'll watch that there. Coming to the four, right? Trying to make our way. 50% retracement right now. Cloud is still bullish ahead. But do we get one more push? Right? Deeper in the zone there. Here we get one more push down. So guys are trying to come out of that buy zone, right? But do we get this to turn over and come back down? Right? So looking for another push to the downside and then that turnover. So as we come down to the one, let's run these off the high. Yeah, this will probably hit the D extension. Right. We got back to that 382, didn't fully push longer, but that push down, right? That stochastic's trying to get down into the buy zone. So we could see the extension achieved here, and then maybe even a little deeper. And then that reversal come. Yeah. Yeah, looking for that D extension on the one, another push down, and then reverse back to the upside is what I'm thinking on these yens. That's what I'm thinking. Questions, Jeremy? You got any opposing thoughts to that?
No, I'm on that same process.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Cool beans. Cool beans. You're welcome. All right. Well, we will wrap it up there, good people. Continue to keep your eyes on the market, right? Um, see how the market opens after the bank holiday yesterday, see where the volatility lies. Um, and just continue to be patient. Continue to be patient. All right. We're back at it tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the pre-New York session. You guys have a phenomenal, phenomenal Tuesday. Peace.